So today we're fixing to do some Catfish Courtboullion. It's written out like court and bouillon, but it's pronounced Courtboullion by the Cajuns. And it's Catfish Courtboullion. These are some catfish that Aaron and I caught this past, probably last winter. What we do, we catch our catfish, we dress them out and stuff, clean them up, put them in a gallon-sized freezer bag, fill it with water, and I'm telling you, look at that. Look how clean, pink, still, white and pink, nice and thick. Look how thick that is. Beautiful, beautiful chunks of catfish. And that's what this is. It's going to be like a soup, but it's going to be catfish. Only this one, we're going to dress it up a little bit. We're going to put some big old shrimp in with it. So it's going to be catfish and shrimp in this thing. My shrimp's been frozen, so I'm kind of thawing them out a little bit. It'll take a little bit, but as soon as I get them thawed out, I'm coming over here. I'm going to cook in this great big, well, this medium-sized cast iron pot I have. Let's turn that fire on now, get it warming up. And I've already got my veggies ready. Chopped up some green pepper or bell pepper, some green onions, and some white onions, and a little bit of celery. Got it fixed up. And then we're going to put in a can of Rotel tomatoes and another can of diced tomatoes with green chilies, and then some stewed tomatoes. And then I'm going to put a couple tablespoons of flour in that, and I'm going to make they call it a roux. I'm going to do a blonde roux, which it's taking the gravy. Some people call it making a gravy. You just mix it up until it's light colored in there. Put some light on the subject. And we'll stir it, mix it up, gel it all together, and add the ingredients. And I'll just come back from time to time and let you see how it's going. We want to let that butter melt down. Once the butter melts down, we'll start spooning our veggies into it and get things rolling from there. So I'll be back in a minute. So I've let that simmer down a little bit, and I've added my flour. Now I'm fixing to start mixing this. We want to pick up all that juice into that flour. Let's pat it down a little bit. In case you wonder, my bride was already in here, and she made a pot of stew. And she took some bacon, fried up some bacon real good, and then she put tomatoes and potatoes. But I don't need all the potatoes. As being a diabetic, that kind of messes with you. But anyway, that's what my bride fixed up. She and my son like. And when she started that, and I said, well, I'm going to make a little seafood mix. Continue stirring this a bit. That flour I put in there is my thickener. So when we get to add the other ingredients, it's going to thicken up. Matter of fact, I think I'll go ahead and put this can of diced tomatoes and chilies. And I better not. We'll wait a moment. Let that cook a little longer. Let it get good and tender. We don't want it chunky. And since I last talked to you, I came over here and I cut up my catfish in smaller pieces. So as it cooks up, you won't be having whole fillets in the mouth. And by the way, this right here came from the big flathead catfish. They say that that's some of the best tasting catfish there is. I like it all. I'll eat any catfish pretty much. As long as it's good and tasty, I'm fine with that. Oh, something else oh, here's a little something else. I did this morning. It's still hot. I made a can of, or jar of pickled peppers. I like to sprinkle some of that whenever I get some fried chicken. Take some pepper sauce, pour it on there, or even get a pepper put in there, and it just helps everything taste just a little bit better. We're going to grab us a can of Creole seasoning, put some of that Tony Thatchery's Creole seasoning in it. I think too, I'm going to put some garlic powder in here. I just love some garlic powder, so I'm going to add that to it. Alright, I'm going to let you go a little bit. I'll come back as we progress. Okay, so you know how I said I wanted a golden roux? Well, you look at that color. It's not too dark. Some people like real dark. I don't care for the dark roux. I'm going to taste this, see how it tastes. That's a good flavor. I can taste I put a little bit of liquid crab oil in it. I can definitely taste that. I put a lot of garlic seasoning in it. Now I'm going to add this Tony's to it. Season it up some with the Tony's. And definitely got to throw some salt in there. So toss a little salt, toss a little Tony's in there. We're going to stir that in. I think now I'm going to try another little taste of that because it's so good. Oh my gosh. Boy, that hit the spot. Okay. Got my shrimp nearly done. Shrimp don't take long to cook, so I'm doing everything ahead of that. I'm going to go ahead. This is my catfish. I'm fixing to tell you what. I'm going to go dump the catfish in, stir that a little bit, and I'll come back and get you here in a few. So after all this, I've got that fish in the stock cooking, and I have that much catfish left over, so I'm going to go ahead and fry that up. So we'll have some fried catfish to go along with our courtboullion. There's our courtboullion, there's our fish in there cooking. I want that to cook, I want it to steep real good and let some of that fish absorb, because y'all, you just ain't gonna believe the flavor that this thing has right now. It is awesome. And I do have the shrimp over here cleaned and washed and ready, because shrimp only needs cooked just a few minutes. So I want to get this cooked up. Then I'm going to drop them shrimp in there and fry that up, or boil it up. And so I'm going to go ahead and get ready and start frying up some catfish now. So I've washed the skillet out, got some cooking oil in it, and in the meantime over here we've stirred it a bit. The fish is starting to flake up, the little flakes off the fish, and so I went ahead and dropped the shrimp in there. We'll let them shrimp cook a little bit, and what I'll probably do is another minute or so, and then I'll cut the fire off, put the lid on it, and let it just sit there and savor and soak in its own flavor. Then in the meantime, got some Tony Thatchery's out. This is our go-to seasoning. And there's the catfish. Got them laid out on this paper towel. Let's sprinkle a little Tony's on them. Get them seasoned up. And then we turn them over. Season the other side. And then I'm going to put my fish batter here. Whoops, almost dropped that. There we go. Stir that around. We'll drop that in, bread it. You know what we do. Get it seasoned up, get it ready, and I'll take it over and drop it in that grease. So I'm going to let you go, and I'll come back when we got some fried up. Okay, so we're back. I pulled some catfish out. I nearly just stabbed myself in the head with my... Look, my wife got this several years ago. It's a hook. Got a wood handle and it's got a hook, and that is the best thing. I can reach down in there. I can reach down in and just like hook that piece of catfish, and I can just flip it over with no problems. I use this mostly on my bacon. I can hook a corner of the bacon and flip the bacon. Look how easy that was. Now I'm going to show you over here. There's the pot of soup, and that's what it is. It's basically, it's a fish soup. Some people, they get turned off when they think, oh my God, fish soup, that ain't going to be good. But I'm telling you, that smells awesome and it tastes even better. So that's going to be part of my supper anyway. I'm going to come back here. Let me show you. I hook that fish so I can hook the edge of that fish. Pick it up, I shake it and get the breading off it, and then set it down in that hot grease. And I don't know about y'all, but I just love to cook. And Aaron and I, we got a saying, we said we like to put love in our cooking, and that's what we do. And if you love it, you can usually make something pretty good and have it come out pretty good. So that's where I'm at. We're at this to finish up. Got a couple more pieces of fish. This is a piece of that flathead catfish right there, that nice big thick piece. Okay, shake that one off, put it in here. Okay, I'm going to go over and bread the last couple pieces of catfish and get them in there cooking, and I'll be back later. Okay, here we are. Folks, this is what we ended up with. There's the fried fish. There's the courtboullion and the fried fish. Plated up, ready to go. I'm thinking this is going to be a delicious meal. Wish you was here to enjoy it with me. Look at the size of those shrimp. Aren't those big? But anyway, wish y'all was here to enjoy it with me. Until next time, we'll talk to you later. Bye.